أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الحمد لله رب العالمين الحمد لله رب العالمين Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. Fellow Gambians, friends of the Gambia at home and abroad, we praise the Almighty Allah for another year of peace and progress in our beloved motherland, the Gambia. As we look forward to another new year, it is incumbent upon us to reflect on the past while planning for the future. Like any other year, the new year will bring challenges, opportunities, and successes. But each challenge should unite us, and each accomplishment should make us stronger. Indeed, ours is a strong nation, and as believers who put their trust in the omnipotent Allah, our optimism is boundless. Indeed, we can achieve any goal we set up for ourselves and lift our nation to greater heights only if we work together towards a common destiny. We have come a long way in our journey for national development. We have brought education to the doorsteps of all Gambians. We have made affordable health care available to all and sundry, to the extent that even communities that lie across our border come to the Gambia for basic health care at cost next to nothing. We have built roads and other critical infrastructure that have brought to life areas of this country that once laid waste due to lack of accessible roads. These areas are not even far away. Just in the suburbs here, the coastal roads are one of the shining ornaments of development ushered in by the July 22nd revolution. Government will continue the rehabilitation and expansion of our existing rural, urban, and cross-country road networks. The vital Brikama-Soma Highway is almost complete, and by the end of the first quarter of 2014, the entire South Bank Road stretch, Banjul to Basse, would have been completed. The much talked about Laminkoto-Passimus Road that used to be dangled to Gambians as an attractive candy for political ends during the First Republic will finally see the light of day with a new project for its construction to be commissioned in 2014, inshallah. The funds for the project have been secured by the grace of Allah, and it will be my pleasure to present this to Gambians as yet another fulfillment of my promise to my beloved citizens of this great country. Our development achievements were attained in the past 19 years, thanks to a vision for national development that is anchored on faith in the supremacy of the Almighty Allah, self-reliance, and honest, productive work. Having come thus far, with the philosophy outlined above, I am not going to change that philosophy overnight because of foreign influence tagged to the bait of aid that is conditioned on the acceptance of alien cultures like homosexuality and unbridled freedoms that are not in line with our religious and cultural beliefs. Yes, we will guarantee the rights of all Gambians within the framework of our established traditions, laws, and religious norms. Yet, the guarantee of such rights is sacrosanct only to the extent that they do not transgress onto the rights of others or endanger the general welfare of our society. Therefore, taking from the theme of the last July 22nd anniversary, I want to once again remind all Gambians to strive together and live in peace and harmony according to our religions. Let me hasten to add here, though, that my call for us to live according to our religion is not limited to the traditional concept of worship in mosques and churches only. Yes, we should continue to pray in our churches and mosques, but our religions are not confined to the narrow definition of worship that we tend to limit ourselves to. The religions brought to us by Jesus Christ and his brother in spirit, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, did not only teach us the art of praying, but brought us practical examples of how to work and earn legal and decent living based on the laws of Allah. Their teachings showed us the importance of self-reliance based on faith. Just like both religions fought and won battles literally and metaphorically, not only based on faith, but also with the active participation of their followers, so shall we win our battles against poverty and ignorance based on faith, but worked by our own hands and sweat. In this vein, let me call on all my brothers and sisters, the Gambian youth, to heed my call to go back to the land and the sea, to help our parents and our young ones to achieve food self-sufficiency. This call to action is not a new one. It was my clarion call from day one when I took over the reins of power in this country, and I have been explaining this principle in many ways, but most specifically through my proverbial 3 days that define the world: yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Yesterday, I called on our youth to join my mission to cultivate our lands and feed ourselves. Some heeded the call, the majority did not. Today, after the global food, fuel, and financial crisis, my calls have been heeded better than before because of the experience that we went through with the rest of the world, albeit the impact was less severe here due to proactive fiscal measures undertaken by my government to lessen the negative impact of this crisis. Now that most youth are heeding my call to go back to the land, let me invite you all to join me in my mission of making the Gambia self-sufficient in food production by the year 2016, inshallah, and without fail. Already we have great signs that our goal is achievable by the significant increase in food production nationwide, not only in recent years, but particularly 2013. In this vein, I want to commend all those youth that have joined this bandwagon, such as the Youth in Agriculture and Fishing Initiative, YAFI, under the aegis of the APRC Bureau. I want to encourage other youth to come up with pragmatic projects in the area of agriculture and fishing, because my promise to fund such ventures still stands. It is my promise to fund such initiatives, and I await tangible project proposals in this direction. Let me take this opportunity to caution government officials managing agricultural and other social projects funded by government loans and grants, that the days of paper projects that yield no tangible results are over. We are sick and tired of projects where we would spend millions of dollars on the purchase of cars, fuel, and per diem for travels, only to submit reports at the end of the day that gather dust on our desks without any positive impact on the livelihoods of our women and children. The Office of the President is now actively monitoring progress on all projects, and the basic defining rule for continuity and job security for project officials is, quote, results or retribution. You either deliver with the expected results or go home at best, and at worst, go to the state's 5-star hotel. Let me repeat that for the purpose of clarity. The Office of the President is now actively monitoring progress on all projects, especially agricultural, and the basic defining rule for you continuing with your job or the security of your job as a project official is results or retribution. You either deliver the expected results or go home at best, and at worst, go to the state's 5-star hotel. We all know where that hotel is located. We want our projects to create long-lasting, useful outputs while providing the opportunity for gainful employment for the citizens of this country. We have seen in the past where millions are spent on building causeways where they use local materials and local labor. Where do the millions of dollars go to? Only God knows. That should be a thing of the past because there will be no compromise. There will be zero tolerance for such nonsense in agriculture or in any other project. We have seen instances where infrastructure is built based on such cheap labor and cheap materials, only to be washed away by the forced heavy rains. This is unacceptable. We have also seen where one field or one project area is being used by 3 different projects as a showcase when financiers come to assess the project. I know all your tricks. Better be warned, better desist than be dealt with. There will be no mercy for such officials who are taking the country backwards. The phenomenon of Jahal Pachal projects is dead today, the 31st of this month. Such practices must die today, because if they live in the next new year, health will rule, and rule big time. I also want to urge families, wives and children, to advise their husbands and their fathers to make sure that whatever belongs to the state or any project that is a national project belongs to all Gambians. If you keep quiet and they continue to steal from that project, depriving millions of Gambians from benefiting from that project, if they are sent to the hotel, don't write to me any appeal, because there will be no clemency for thieves. You will be wasting, in fact, at best, you will be wasting your time for writing to my office for clemency, and at worst, you will be courting trouble from me. There will be zero tolerance for this malpractice that has not only been a cancer in the First Republic, but this cancer seems to be growing in this Second Republic, which is unacceptable. In treating this cancer, we will use any medicine that is necessary. If it is malignant cancer, we will cut it off. You can define what I mean by that. We will no longer allow a few greedy individuals to enrich themselves at the expense of millions of Gambians. It is very simple. If you cannot be honest, leave this government service. It will not be an excuse that my salary is small and things are hard. If your salary as a government official is very small and things are very bad for you, what about the farmer? What about the fisherman? What about the herdsman? What about the student? For us to build a viable society, an economic superpower, we must all be honest. Corruption will not be tolerated in whatever form from now on. On the international front, the Gambia will continue her active participation in our regional and international organizations with a view to continue to contribute positively and significantly in global peace and other issues. As a model for peace, stability, and religious tolerance, we will continue to advocate for the peaceful resolution of all conflicts without taking sides. Our foreign policy remains anchored on our faith in the Almighty Allah, who has created all of us as brothers and sisters in one human family. We will respect the sovereignty of all nations, just like we expect others to respect our independence and sovereignty. Our principle is based on the equality of nations, regardless of size, color, development, and other mundane considerations. We stand for the truth, and we speak for the voiceless anywhere in the world, because we have faith that there is only one God, Allah the Almighty, before whom we are all equal. We are not against any country or race. We believe in the oneness of humanity, and we shall continue to operate our foreign policy within that framework in our dealings with other nations, and expecting nothing less than mutual respect. As we celebrate yet another new year, we pray for the restoration of peace and tranquility in all the troubled regions of the world, especially on the African continent. We also pray for those who are sick, in bed. May the Almighty Allah grant them longer life and healthier lives and prosperity. We pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as He taught us at the end of Surah Fatiha, to continue to, quote, show us the straight way, the way of those whom thou hast bestowed thy grace, those whose portion is not wrath, and who go not astray. Amen. I wish you a very happy, prosperous New Year. Your New Year would only be happy or pleasant for you, especially if you are in government, if you desist from pinching from government funds. I wish you all the best. Devenati, yalla feke devel. Alamanto be mabela jarita ngake kan kilinti ngake si kilinti ngake bagu den kilinti. Emite kan ulatu umata e bulai. Nukana takon, nuraka takon, munu prena bachara bam di mofon. For the fullers, ajarama. Thank you.